In fact, the initial bans worth noting: Magnus, Cthulhu Font, Bubble, Swiftblade. A little bit different than the last game where Ophelia and Parasite were both part of those bans as well. Not so much this time around. Rhapsody going to be the first pick. Pharaoh, a quick response for Willowkeeper. Very good against a hero like Rhapsody, so. But definitely still interesting to see as a first pick potential. Gauntlet now coming out after a quick start here, Mini Maggot.
Yeah, and I think actually we're going to see Ophelia picked up here as well by Rexar, seeing as it is on the board. I mean, we could also maybe see the Tempest as well, but with the Rhapsody and Gauntlet sort of snapped pick, it's sort of tending towards maybe a team fight or pushing sort of lineup. Obviously, that they went for maybe like a late game sort of style of drafting game one, didn't work too well, and therefore they might be trying to sign up here in game two, but we'll have to see. But yeah, like you said, Parasite still on the board as well as the Ophelia, so they're actually going to go for the Parasite instead. So more of a ganking sort of style of lineup than the sort of team fight and sort of pushing potential that Ophelia would have offered in the end.
Yeah, but Rexar's falling into the Gauntlet trap, though. They got that Gauntlet hero, man, 28.6% win percentage in 21 games. Again, it's kind of surprising to see that, but we'll see how it works out for them this time around. Silhouette, though, the final pick coming out from Willowkeeper. I know we may mention that Balthazar likes to play this hero, yeah.
It's just, and I mean, we saw a little bit in, I think it was in the Carnage of Caldervol, we saw it quite a bit, but I mean, I don't think we saw it too much in Cycle 1 or even,
saw it a couple times, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, from what I expected this year, I thought this hero was going to be like blind banned or picked like first every single game, and I'm surprised it isn't. Honestly, I think the hero is so strong after sort of the changes to her. Obviously, the tree grapple being physical and the reducing cooldown and the buff to her ultimate as well. I'm surprised we don't see her more, but we do see her here in game 3 and expect an impressive silhouette without a doubt. Because normally, obviously, tree they run or they normally pick up the dual support, so expect the silhouette to be very farmed like the Swiftblade in game 1.
Yeah, definitely. Again, Balthazar going to probably have his hands on that hero, and most certainly a scary hero in good hands as far as his farm potential and kill potential. The hero that's gone through a lot of changes and, safe to say, is very good. So, Prisoner and Wretched Hag to finish. Torturer, Doctor, Flux, Madman, Prisoner, and Hag overall. The next tier of bands coming out here.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised by the Prisoner band, though.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit strange to me. It doesn't really fit into the lineup too well, I don't think. And it's saying that Tree never ever run. I mean, the Flux could definitely work. I know Cracky loves that hero. And obviously the Torture, I understand, was a very strong support. But we'll have to see the follow-up picks here by Rex. So it looks like they've already picked up their dual mid and their jungler. So most likely going to finish off with a Suicide and maybe short lane carry. Wretched Hag was banned there by Thuzen, so I like that ban actually. Wretched Hag one of the perfect heroes to sort of fit in this lineup. Obviously, flash farms very strongly, kind of similar to the Doctor Repulsor in game 1. Can still offer some kind of ganking potential as well. I mean, looking on the heroes on the board. Depending on who they could pick. Drunken Master still was on the board. I don't know if they want to pick up again. Didn't have too much success with him in game 1. I mean, Puppet Master's still on the board as well. It's something a little bit surprising, actually. Wouldn't surprise me if they pick up the the Puppet Master here. I mean, obviously the hero's strong late game carry as well as having that great potential for ganks as well when he picks up the Assassin's Shroud. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Definitely feel that aggressive nature for the team. So 30 seconds remaining. Now they're actually putting some good thought into this one. They're going to go Scout. Maybe a little bit different than expected, but I'm guessing gonna be a Suicide Scout here, as far as he goes here. Gives him a little bit of extra late game carry potential if need be, and also a pretty good ganker himself, is safe to say, with the skill set. Moraxis gonna be coming out for Willowkeeper, so they get another initiator here, and not your everyday ganking hero, but gonna be played by Willowkeeper.
Yeah, and I think they picked up the Moraxis there instead of, say, the Pebbles because of the amount of gank potential they have here on the Parasite and Gauntlet. And obviously, the Arcane Shield, a great sort of defensive ability against sort of Parasite, Gauntlet, even sort of Scout and Rhapsody. A lot of single target spells, so a reason why they might have picked up the Moraxis over the Pebbles, for example, in this matchup.
Final pick now for either side, starting with Rexos, of course. Again, and I also like how quickly Willowkeeper did that pick. It goes along the mindset of we're not going to give them much time to think about this now, as far as their final pick goes. Just make them have to make a quicker decision here. It's down to 3 seconds, so There you go. Okay, so
Gemini this game.
yeah, it is actually Gemini this game, and wow, snapping Polywalk Priest in response. They had a plan going into this game. They did not use any extra time at all, and that's when you know that they have something in mind. So that's a very interesting final pick.
And we talked about obviously how the sort of secondary supports now are sort of more rotating into the more utility sort of style of supports than just your laning supports like the Aluna and Glaciers. Now we're seeing heroes like Polywog Priest picked up, obviously like your Nymphoras and things like that. And it's good to see that obviously because I mean Polywog Priest obviously a great potential for a secondary support, can still get quite a bit of farm in that short lane, and also offer some kind of pushing potential as well. So I expect to be a Glacius Meraxis middle lane most likely, and then Polywog and Silhouette top, unless they want to rotate some kind of tri-lane perhaps. But I think we're most likely we're going to see 2 dual lanes here for Tree.
These player-hero combinations averaging no win rate in these games, so a little bit of an error there, I'm sure. But anyways, yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see how the lanes, as always, means that they have. That's what I figured. Yeah, so it means that they actually haven't been played. So none of these players have played these heroes on record that you have. That's basically what you're saying. That's so interesting. Didn't we see that the other day too? With I
think so. Yeah, I think it was.
Was it even Thursday's match? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Thursday. It was I think Last of Us not even picking up and not even playing one of those heroes they picked up in the end.
Well, Nullstone Gaming, technically, was their name. But yeah, so I mean that's something to take note. That I guess not that they don't have any experience on them at all. It's just on record for these competitive matches. Haven't seen them played by them, so we'll see. But yeah, Polywog Priest going to be played as a secondary support. God, I hate this skin. That is running.
And look at actually the rotation card from Parasite. I actually do like this rotation because if you can see, obviously, they saw the rotation card from Tree going into the Hellborn jungle as 5, which most likely sort of tells the Legion that for the most likely blocking in Parasite's camp. So they actually blocked 3, and this just allows Parasite to like have an easy rotation and give Scout a good easy time as well. I mean, it wouldn't surprise if Polywog Priest is being picked off here by the Scout and Parasite. So perhaps we might see even First Blood on the secondary support, something unlikely, or unusual, but it's definitely a possibility because Parasite is up here, top lane though.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't have Leech obviously, so he can just simply auto attack and that's it. The camp's gonna be blocked right there, and now Parasite gonna
It didn't block.
Okay, no, it didn't block. You're right, and actually Vulture gonna be taken over. Not the biggest ganking creep, but still, that's pretty big because that's just simply a waste of a Rev Ward really in the end.
Yep.
That,
I don't know if that Rev Ward was there to sort of try and get visibility of Scout and then maybe try and kill him, or it was just for the Parasite. I mean, either way, I think it should have been a bit of both, honestly. But in the end, it doesn't block off the Parasite. And I think this actually Parasite in this jungle can work. But you see him actually already rotating. I don't. Obviously, we have God Vision, so obviously we can see. This rotation is a bad one to make. But I mean, you can expect if Hellborn are rotating all 5 heroes into the enemy jungle, they're there just to place the wards. So you can expect your whole jungle to be warded. So why not just switch into the enemy jungle? I mean, the only person that might be harassing you will be the Polywog Priest, whilst the other sort of heroes are on lane, and that's no threat, honestly, particularly with Scout. In the woods as well, they could even pick off kills on the Polywog Priest. So I don't like this rotation card from Denver Pro.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out for them. But so Hellborn called the pause, but it looks like Rickster's also going AFK here. So hopefully not too much longer before we're going to resume on with game number 2. But got some updates on the other series, I believe. So the other games, in fact, are being casted actually by other streamers. You got Sync Esports versus Wop Wop, formerly known as Moe's Tavern. The team that won the Gold Division, actually Cycle 1, is matched up against Sync Esports there. Or no, they got second place if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, they're matched up against Sync Esports, and they are down 1-0, so Sync up 1-0. It's actually being casted over there by Lash over on twitch.tv/2easy. That's Zlap's stream even, so you can check out that. And then Reason Gaming versus Don. Reason is actually up 1-0 in that series again. So nothing too surprising here in the first round of brackets coming at you as far as results so far. And, of course, including the BMG over Nullstone Gaming, as we talked about, which was played on the Saturday, or Tuesday, or no, Thursday, that day, whatever day that was, that we casted it. So that had already happened. But anyways, it looks like Rexstar is going to be good to go here. Just a matter of time before Willowkeeper gives the go-ahead, and,
It's
well,
about
there
damn
you go.
time.
So, exactly, Samuel Jackson, exactly. So you do see the top lane. You got rid of Z here. Actually going to pull the camp, going to stack it even.
Yeah, and
Left side.
it's a preventative measure against Parasite. Because if Parasite does try and rotate, he saw Fusen over here on the right camp, did it over here. Parasite farming double hard camps is very hard to actually farm. So it's just a preventative measure against Parasite, but little do they know he's already rotated into the enemy jungle, and he's placed the Rev Ward down here, but he's not going to find it unless he brings over the upgraded courier, which isn't even upgraded. So, I mean, this Parasite's going to have a very, very poor start in the early game.
Yeah. Oh, middle lane. Gauntlet's actually a little blocked right here by the creep wave. Yeah, he kind of had. Oh, Mirax is stunned a little bit too late, and now the grapple comes out. Mirax all of a sudden, he's the one being turned on, and this could backfire somehow. Krake, no, he's going to be fine. But, I mean, I get why they went in because, yeah, Gauntlet was definitely creep blocked right there. He was almost panicking, but in the end, Mirax has completely whiffed his stun. And maybe it was a little bit of lag there, as you do see both teams even commentating on that. So we'll give him a little bit of a pass there, I guess, as far as that missed stun goes. But no kill in the end for either side. That would have been the ultimate embarrassment to miss a stun and then completely get turned on for a bloodlust kill, but did not happen. So Gemini, the real Gemini here, though, by the way, bottom lane, he's 4-1 so far, gets Pharaoh's 10-2, so
Yeah, he's getting actually dominated by Boxy. I mean, we talked about how strong Boxy is as a 1v1 laner, but I don't expect him to be doing this well. I mean, yeah, I think Pharaoh does have the advantage in the lane, but not this big of an advantage. And I mean, Boxy is just dominating. I mean, Gemini is, you know, at least 200 GPM, so not too bad, and obviously hasn't died yet, but I would expect him to be doing a little bit better than he is now.
yeah, you see, you know, normally Suicide Pharaoh maybe doesn't end up, it's, you know, 4-6 record, so not too much, not the most games played with it, but still. Boxy
Bottom
on
lane.
it, very good. Bottom lane, are we seeing something? Maybe. Rhapsody coming in with it, Invis. You got Gemini ready to go with the Twin Fangs as well as his Twin Breath here. Some good damage output. He actually gets a level 1 in Elemental Force early on here. Sometimes I've been seeing Gemini players just pass that up and eventually get it for later on in the game, but oh yeah, this is going to be a big collapse. Even Parasite joining the party, so Boxy all of a sudden, he's in a lot of trouble. Hellfire comes out, he's going to cut through the trees. Can he actually get away from this somehow, some way? If anyone could do this, probably Boxy. Maybe the Twin Fangs. Oh, he dodges this in the last second, and Boxy's going to, no, he does die. Oh, you wanted him to live just because of how awesome that effort was.
I was like,
But it
oh, he's
wasn't
dead.
enough.
He's dead.
Oh
Is he
my
dead?
gosh.
Is he dead? That was insane. Like, 3 players just about killed him, but in the end, they are going to secure the kill on Pharaoh. So good rotation coming out from Repsy, and this is what we talked about a little bit before as well. It's the rune control is so important because yeah, one rune can set up the first blood, and now with the first blood, it's like 700 experience just for one little rune. So great rotation coming out from Repsy. And also expected a little bit more better rune control coming out from Fusen, but he is stacking here in his own jungle, so maybe expect that. But here's the rune here bottom lane as well. Raps picking up a regen rune. Don't know if he's going to pick that up or just leave it for Gauntlet to bottle up in the end. But yeah, I mean already Rex has coming out with a strong start.
Yeah, Parasite actually goes to pick it up. He's at half life, a little less than half mana, so that's actually a pretty good rune for him right there. He'll gladly pick up that regen. Gauntlet missing a grapple in the middle end in the meantime. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect, so we'll just simply go back to farm. Not the biggest deal in the world. And taking a look at that once again, how that creep farm's turning out. 21-4 Gauntlet, Miraxis 19-1, so very slight advantage for Gauntlet, but not really anything to write home about by any means. Silhouette at the meantime at the top lane, 29-17, Scout 5-1. That is not surprising. Even in a 1v1 matchup, it would be tough, let alone 2v1. As you're talking about with the Polywog Priest being up here to babysit the Silhouette. So obviously those lanes looking pretty good. The last time, oh jeez, yeah, 682 gold per minute, 10-1 and 8, not that big of a deal. You know what team that was against by chance? I want to say that was probably last cycle even, but let's see. Not that that really matters, but still, you know, getting an idea of which team that was actually performed against. But yeah, Scout, I mean, he's level 4 at least. So that's what you can ask for. He's probably going to hit level 5 here. As the
Yeah, I mean,
pushes up.
He does have lane control here in the top lane, so as long as he's getting some kind of XP, he's just hit level 5 there as well. So maybe if he feels pressured in the lane, he might just rotate mid, try and set up a gank. And with Gauntlet, honestly, probably one of the strongest heroes to gank with if he can land that hook, of course. So
Yeah.
expect maybe a rotation either from the Parasite or from the Scout to try and secure that middle lane. Because, I mean, if you're running... Obviously a jungler compared to like a dual support hero on Hellborn, the dual support, they need to make sure their lanes are winning. So if you can obviously win a lane where you're not really sort of supposed to, seeing as you have the jungler, obviously you're going to be so far ahead in terms of golden XP. They are ahead in terms of XP, that's just from the Parasite, put it simply, but if they can get a few kills on the board as well, they'd be very, very far up in terms of golden XP.
Yes, sirree.
And good rune control already. Look, Rhapsody picks up another Invis rune top lane while Gauntlet gets the refresh and bottom. Parasite is in the vicinity as well. They might even try to set something up here in the middle lane. So,
yeah. He's trying to get position. Glacius would be definitely that ideal target, especially being only level 3 still, compared to Moraxis level 6 with that Matrix and everything else. So, well, they're not going to get a kill onto him, unless Parasite may even assist with it. So this could be interesting. I mean, Glacius, he is kind of poking in there a little bit in the background. But yeah, once again, you see Rhapsody just not really feeling the most comfortable here as far as committing for anything. So maybe even figures that they could have possibly had a Rev Ward down or something that didn't want to get too close. And, well, there's obviously the tower, so playing it safe, and it doesn't look like a kill's going to happen. As a result of that, she actually fell back also right as Glacius happened to be roaming on by. So I don't even know if they noticed that Glacius happens to fall away. And, look at Glacius right there. He tried to do a stack, but unfortunately it doesn't work. Meanwhile, back to the lane. What's interesting here, Moraxis, there's a stomp coming out. Matrix is up, absorbing plenty of damage. Is it going to be enough in the end? It looks like it. Freeze on a Parasite at the last second, just in case, but exactly
Matrix,
what I was talking about.
so tanky.
Yeah, that Matrix is just, it's ridiculous. It's like, you think you have an easy kill? No, not so much. Look at that right there. Kind of mid-lane Moraxis. Pretty good, actually. 5-1 in that middle lane. He's a strong initiating hero.
Very strong in the end. But yeah, so there was the rotation from Scout. Just a little bit too late, honestly. I mean, I think if Scout was there, that was most likely a kill onto Moraxis, but in the end, just missed it. Silhouette still continues to have a great farm, as expected. Obviously, he has almost a free lane right now. It looks like he's rotating to try and go for the Nullstone, or the early Nullstone pickup, which is understandable. I think it's the normal build now. The Nullstone portal key pickup, which makes sense for some sort of gank potential as well. Talking of sort of the draft though here for Legion, I would like to see a little bit more sort of focus on the ganking potential. They've got great ganking potential heroes with like the Parasite, Scout and Gauntlet, and I'd like to see them at least try and get a few more kills on the board. They still have a good late game in terms of the Gemini and Scout, but I think their team fight is just a little bit weaker compared to Hellborns with like the Moraxis and Poliwag Priest and Silhouette. So to have a few more kills on the board when they definitely have the potential to. Would be something I'd like to see. They do have a Skeleton King here on Parasite. He might try and rotate here in the middle lane now, actually. Moraxis is playing quite far back, though. So.
Yeah, Skeleton King wearing off right there. Instead, we'll have to go elsewhere and actually try to go over to the Scamp to the left, but unfortunately nothing's spawning there. And I'll have to wait till a 9-minute mark before something is going to happen. So I'm going to be a little bit patient right there. Yeah, that was also, I mean, obviously, Quincy writing it out right there, but how about that, too? Scout, actually, the highest win percentage hero out of heroes that have at least 10 games is 7-3, so actually having a pretty good time overall in the end, usually. But at the same time, they also have Gauntlet on their team. That's a very low win percentage, so take that how you will. But anyways, top tower, going to be going down right there. Baltazar, of course, getting credit for it. And his farm, as you would expect, is starting to get up there, 440 gold per minute. You mentioned the Nullstone pickup. He's got the Mana Tube, so now he just needs the Blessed Orb and the 150 gold pattern. And that Nullstone going to be finished. Coming quickly. Yeah, Feral bottom lane. He's kind of, well, he does not know Scout is nearby. So he's thinking this is a 1 versus 1. Nope, 1 versus 2, baby. Will he get away this time? There's a double stun from Gemini. And how about that? Scout with a follow-up. In the meantime, the Ice Dog gets a little bit shaped right there. Oh, the tongue tie. Beautiful job right there. Will it be enough for the kill? Can he somehow still get away? He can! And look at the hero blocking coming out from Scout. Gemini goes back to full form.
Oh, Rhapsody.
And he survives. Rhapsody off to the side, though. Moraxis, he wants to make something happen. Stomp comes out. Scout running at the last second, puts an attack in, and actually in trouble. Oh, there's the absorption, though. The Colin Blast absorbed by the W, but it doesn't matter. The grapple connects, and down it goes Moraxis in the end.
Silhouette's going to take the tier 2 top, though, I think, actually. All in the meantime.
It could be close. I don't know. Yeah, they don't have any free. Gemini does have a TP, actually, so I don't know if she is 100% going to get this, but was free farming that whole time is safe to say. So even with only the 1 kill happening for the Legion team, overall, quite the positive still happening for Willowkeeper.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I said, Tree. Rex, they needed to sort of rotate, try and make these ganks happen. And a simple gank from Scout turns out to be 2 hero kills for Rex, and now they're in a very nice position to be at. Obviously, 3,500 experience, about 1,000 gold lead ahead now. Gemini's farming quite well compared to the start he had. He was only around 200 GPM, but obviously after the both ganks now, he's sitting in a nice sort of place to be. And Parasite is slowly recovering after his bad start as well. And I'm just liking the way Rexers are playing. I mean, we talked about this in Game 1, even though they did lose Game 1 in somewhat of a considerable fashion. They were, they were doing very, very well. The actions weren't too bad, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. So hopefully, in this game, they'll have some sort of times of justice in terms of getting back into the game.
Working out for them. So Gemini, looking pretty good on his farm. With that said, 335 gold per minute. It's kind of skewed a little bit again how just far ahead Silhouette is here earlier on, but can't let that pass by, as that is pretty impressive. Gauntlet in the meantime, he's of course got that portal key next in line for him. But eventually going to be seeing a random grapple thrown out right there, just kind of a Hail Mary attempt, just in case it connected, but more access. Easy sidestep, and of course, going to be more than fine. But again, the other thing to keep in mind for this Legion team as well is that Scout sure is a slow start as far as farm goes, but this is what the hero does. He gives your team a secondary carry option as the game progresses into that mid to especially the late game stage. Eventually should likely get a good amount of farm to be at the point of, he's going to actually be quite the threat. So, still not the most impressive right now, but something to keep in mind once again. Yes, we're only 12 minutes in here.
And look at the the kind of the pressure he's putting in terms of the farm actually as well. We've got an electric eye over here on the hard camp, and an electric eye here on the other hard camp on the Hellborn jungle, and then he's even placed a ward on the pool camp as well. And although it's good that he's taken away farm from Silhouette, but I think even more importantly, he's actually keeping Poliwag away from that level 6 mark. He's only level 4, and 12 minutes in, you'd expect at least it has to be at least around level 6. But Scout doing a good job actually sort of restricting the amount of farm the Hellborn's having here actually, which is something to note.
Yeah. Oh, top lane. This could get interesting. Invis Rhapsody's here. Now, Silhouette, she doesn't actually have the null stone yet. That's just a pattern on her. Here comes the opening. Silence comes out from Scout. The staccato steps. Will it be enough burst damage in the end? Yes, it will. Silhouette falls. Even Rhapsody coming in the last second, or excuse me, Parasite to assist, but Silhouette goes down. It's a great execution coming out right there. And that's a very good use of the runes as well. But you look at Silhouette, I mean, for one, a big reason why Silhouette's such a very effective farmer is that illusion ultimate of hers. It allows her to be a little bit safer. She doesn't have it yet, and you got to question that a little bit if she's going to be pushing up that far. Maybe getting that 1 point at this time would have been pretty big. Fair in the meantime at the bottom line. He dodges the grapple. That's the big move right there. The Gauntlet best hit, of course, but Gauntlet's left alone. Gemini's like, I got to get the hell out of here because you're dead, and I don't want to die with you. So he does, and it looks like Gemini's going to be fine, but obviously a great response coming out there from Willowkeeper. More so, though, good job surviving by Boxy, buying enough time for his teammates to get in there. So at least a little bit of a response, but still the big picture. Rexar is getting the pick on a Silhouette pretty big for them.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, now she's picked up the null stone. I don't know how effective they actually are going to be able to gank this Silhouette without maybe the Gemini rotation. But again, look at this. This Scout Eye is doing so much work. I mean, I think this blocked like 2 or 3 camps already. It is going to be unblocked here with most likely the Courier Scout. But I mean, just all these little things that you don't even notice at first, and it's very, very hard to sort of notice it while you're in the game as well, because obviously there's a lot of things to sort of focus on, and this is a lot of farm taken away. We see 1,200 gold lead for Legion, and little sort of tricks and features like this is the reason why they're actually ahead of the game right now.
Yeah. Apparently, just some server issues here for apparently both teams even. It's being brought up, but. Obviously we're well at a point where not much we can be done, unfortunately, other than just trying to wait it out a little bit. Hopefully it gets a little bit better and at least be bearable here to move on with the game. But, again, Silhouette having that null stone. Again, though, still no shadow. I mean, is that as we bring up, is that a hindsight thing, or are you even a little bit surprised that she hasn't gotten it yet with that ultimate? You there? Mini Maggot.
Sorry about that. That was just,
Okay.
I didn't even realise I muted myself. Sorry about that.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I was saying going back to the reason why she hasn't picked up the shadow. I think she should have, because although the Relentless Salvo is there for the laning presence, at the most part, Scout wasn't even laning. So I think in terms of even the hindsight, the shadow should have been picked up though.
Yeah. Well, again, it would have been useful there when he was pushing up that far at the top lane, but again, he, by all means, thought it was fine and had every right to, but that was just a good gank set up by Rexars, of course, making use of the Invis rune on Rhapsody specifically. So it looks like we're going to be ready to go here, continuing on with what is game number 2. Obviously, as you see on your screen, it is a 1-0 lead here for Willowkeeper currently, but so far in game 2, it seems like Rexars has quite a bit going for them overall as a team, whereas Silhouette, though, is, again, leading the way. As far as the big picture, Abyssal Skull finished on Gemini here, has those steam boots, so again, kind of going more of that melee carry build. That seems to be very popular, honestly, nowadays. I mean, that really has been, like, Abyssal Skull was never really, honestly, a big pickup on melee heroes, even when we did see them quite a bit. It was more so maybe like the Rune Cleaver or something like that, but it seems like Abyssal Skull kind of has been transitioned to be more of the priority farming tool.
Yeah, it's because it's kind of a mix between obviously a farming item with the lifesteal, but also has some kind of fighting or team fight potential with the armor as well. So in that sort of sense, and sort of the team sort of support item pickup, it's a great item pickup as well because obviously it does allow you to give you somewhat of able to farm the jungle, but also if you need to get involved in team fights, can help out the team as well. So.
Yeah. Middle lane, it looks like something wants to be happening, but again, Gauntlet and Moraxis both in that case, so they're trying to still save up for a portal key. Gauntlet doing a little bit better with that. Yeah, it's about 1230 gold saved up. Moraxis is about only 400 at this point, so a little bit behind and trying to get that. Again, an grapple attempt. How do you pronounce it? Plisticist? I don't even know how to pronounce that name, man. Plicticist. Anyways, he misses another hook right there.
So yeah, Polywall Priest level 6, and here's the starting the push, and Legion are looking to try and defend this, and I think they can. They are ahead in terms of golden experience, so although they don't have the strongest of teamfight potential, I think this lead can be enough. They're going in.
Yep, there we go. Moraxis, though, he popped the Arcane Shield with the stuff of the dog, but he misses his own stuff. Pharaoh goes in the back with Mumble is up. It's blocking both of the Gemini dogs, but they're protecting Melody off to the side. Will save him initially. Gauntlet blast on the Silhouette in the meantime. Oh, Gauntlet goes, or Silhouette goes down. Gauntlet, a big part of that. Glacial downpour off to the side, though, and actually putting out some pretty good damage. All of a sudden, even without Silhouette, the Hellborn team somehow managing to pick up some kills right here. Going to go for a third. They will get the third on a Gauntlet. The marksman shot not enough to kill Glacius. Or money shot even, and now Rhapsody, she's being chased back. Moraxis level 11 all of a sudden, holy crap. As well as Pharaoh, they are diving. Rhapsody's going to end up falling here definitely. Oh, she took out Glacius with her. All right, well, at least got a kill in response, but still. I mean, even with Silhouette getting bursted as fast as she did, Willowkeeper still managed to win that fight in the end.
Yeah, and that's because Scout wasn't there when the team fight actually started as well. Like, he was sort of in the top room when the initiation started, and they need the Scout's electric eye sort of silence for it to be actually useful and for them to actually try to win these team fights. I talked about how I think Hellborn do have the team fight potential, or the stronger team fight compared to Legion with the Polywall Priest wards and the great initiation coming out from Moraxis, but they need obviously Scout's silence for them to have a chance to actually win these team fights. Gemini got absolutely exploded because he doesn't have any type of strong head or any defensive items yet, and therefore the team support is so vital in these early team fights.
Yeah. Top lane, Silhouette. Again, she still doesn't have her ultimate. She does have the no stone this time, but here we go once again. Silence comes out. No stone going to work, though. I believe that was with staccatos, and they deny the tower on the Legion side. So they don't get a kill, but at least they deny the tower. Well played on their part. I still can't believe how Balthazar. I mean, it's one thing to not get it. I don't know. I just feel like you should have it by now. It makes your farming so much more effective. And in situations like this, she's not able to nearly freely as farm. I mean, she is to an extent, and actually she's going to be able to, but we saw earlier where she got killed, and right there she wasn't able to get the tower kill, It's scary, but I guess she hasn't died. She's only died that one time because of it, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand if she wants to sort of max out the Death Lotus and the Tree Grabber, but there's no really need to sort of max out the Relentless Salvo and miss the ultimate entirely, because, I mean, the Relentless Salvo is more there for sort of the later sort of stages of the game. They don't need it, doesn't need it that early on. And the ultimate's just so good as well. Obviously, it gives you that sort of safety net to have it if you're pushing up so far, but also it increases your farm as well, able to farm in both places. So I'm surprised she hasn't picked up.
Boxy playing the Pharaoh this time around, and Kraken was playing it for them last game. Quite a different build, maybe because of the game or the matchup too, for sure. You know, going against the Doctor, getting the Hellfire made sense, but getting the puzzle box this time around.
Don't like it.
The Parasite's dangerous against.
Yeah, obviously that's one reason, but at the same time, I mean, he could pick up the Hellflower, and it would be in the same situation with Doctor in game 1. If you can Hellflower, obviously, one of Gemini's dogs, he can't sort of form back into it. So if you catch Gemini in his dog form, then you can kill one of these dogs so quickly with one of the Hellflower. The Hellflower lasts 4.5 seconds. You can burst down the Fire Dog or the Frost Dog in that time, and it can be so much more useful than the puzzle box. Actually, middle lane though.
Yeah, they're gonna jump right here. There's that new porting. Oh, the grapple hit Silhouette as she jumped in. Actually, this follow-up stun on a Gemini. However, Pharaoh will follow it up. Protect Melody just on a time. One of the few times that's the case, and actually Gemini does fall. You do see Rhapsody right here. She's going to go for the TP, and it was close.
Man, so close.
She does get away. How about that, though? In the meantime, Root of Z on Polywog just pushes the bottom tower as well. So very good things happening for Willowkeeper in a couple different spots there in the end. So well played. Now, granted, the Legion team did get the middle tower in the big picture, too. But obviously the portal key pickup on Moraxis right there. Making good use of it initially to set up the kill. Gauntlet does have his own portal key now, though. With that said, in fact, going to look at you right here. Yes, he lands the grapple. He's been going for a lot of those Hail Mary grapples, man, and that one actually happened to connect. And he gets the kill onto Glacius right there, so well played. At least getting a little bit of response. Taking out Fusin. So, yeah, Parasite also getting a puzzle box, by the way, himself. So
yeah, but going back to the Pharaoh puzzle box, I don't really like it. I think the Hellflower would have been such a better item, because you can absolutely sort of decimate the Gemini with a Hellflower, because once sort of Gemini sort of splits up, obviously he won't be able to return back to his main form if he is sort of silenced from the Hellflower. And sort of almost 5 seconds is enough to sort of burst down one of the weaker dogs. But I mean, I guess maybe he just wants stronger sort of team fight and pushing potential, which the puzzle box does provide. But at the same time, he's going against a Parasite, so there is risk that it will be taken over. So that's why I don't really like it compared to, say, like a Hellflower.
Oh, we'll see how it ultimately develops for them. And again, that's one of those items. I mean, even initially, it's a decent amount of gold you're spending for the level 1 alone, but of course, to upgrade it all the way, you're putting a good amount of resources into that level 3 puzzle box. To wonder if that will be the big payoff for you compared to, hell, I guess, equivalent that you could have basically gotten a Hellflower, with that said. If I'm not mistaken, in the same. So yeah, 2,700 gold base plus the 1,350, 1,250 pattern upgrades each. So yeah, definitely could have bought in a Hellflower for the same amount, even less gold in that sense. But anyways, it is what it is, so we'll see how that works out. You do see Silhouette's got the portal key. Nelson, of course, the quick blade follow-up, so now going to start working into more of the damage focus here. So that's not too surprising either. Triple stack agents on the Legion side. You see they're counter-warding a little bit, but there is a ward of sight in the stack. So the Hellborn team is very aware of what's going on here. In fact, there's a Rev ward also that's actually in range to spot that, but that has to be. I can't get my tool.
Still
my tool's still broken.
Yeah, mine's still broke. I think that's actually they're taking the short. Oh no.
That's big. That's big. That's a lot of gold going their way.
So much gold. That's almost like 3,000 or 4,000. Actually, not that much, actually, about 2.5. So much gold to me that they can't give that away. After they sort of triple stacked it, that's a massive big lead there for Tree just from that one ancient stack.
They got the tower kill bottom, however, so Rexar's getting a little bit of a happy birthday there, you can say, or something like that, but that's marksman shot. Oh, well, just simply saying hello to Pharaoh. Grapple, that's going to miss, though. Good attempt. But at that point, Pharaoh had already left, so not going to land, of course. Now, Scotty thinks he's in Fizz. Not so much. They see him because of the Rev one right there. Scott's going to be locked down. Silhouette in the background. Scout gets burnt on the map. The Melody comes out. That's the Silhouette illusion right there that will drop. The real Silhouette still alive. Gauntlet, he is trapped in the mummy walls. He ain't going nowhere. Gemini also gets caught in the background. He, too, goes down. What a fight for Willowkeeper. And they also get the tower kill, but that was all because Scout. You got to play. You can't, at this tier of play, you can't just assume that they don't have any Rev boards. And hell, they even have a puzzle box for that matter.
Yep.
I don't know.
And this might even be the tier 3 here as well. I don't think it's going to be Rex, because they do have the invulnerability which they use right there, but I think it's most likely going to be a tier 3, even somewhat of a pressure onto the Rex. And this just goes back to obviously what I said before the draft here for Hellborn, is just that they have that superior team fight, and so should really Legion be in trying to take team fights when they could have easily just sort of dodged it. And even they might even lose Rex here. If they lose Rex, this could be such a big blow, but they are going to back off in the end.
Oh, Morax is a big three-man stun, and
Oh,
actually Silhouette will get that kill in a Rhapsody right there. Gemini, he might have overcommitted, though. Look at that damage from Silhouette in the meantime. The ultimate on Apollo Priest coming out will get the kill. Parasite, he in the meantime does fall with that set. Now in the background, Farrell's getting trapped. We're getting beat on, but it won't be enough for the kill. Silhouette just holding her ground, putting out plenty. You see Scout's going to try to escape, so just like last game, Rexars, I mean, at this time, it's definitely, they were already behind by a bit. They were kind of desperate almost, and they really chased them, and it's a genocide. So what could have just simply been, okay, let them fall back. We saved the racks. You know, we're still in this game. All of a sudden turns into, I don't know about that anymore, as they're also going to lose the racks.
Slight overextension, but yeah, a Rax lost at 24 minutes is such a big deal, and even more kills in the middle lane as well. Rhapsody is most likely to be falling as well.
Yeah, I think that's your case of a little bit of frustration even kind of kicking in now for Rexars. There's no reason for Rhapsody to just run up like that. I mean, what was she going to do? What was the best case scenario there? I just didn't see anything happening, so kind of just feeding in a sense, but the racks go down easily to follow as they would have anyways, and I mean, hell, going into that fight, it was what, like maybe a 7,000 gold lead, all of a sudden 60,000. Yeah, there you go, GG's being called. So the Rex was like, all right, we got a little desperate there, overextended a little bit too much, and clearly that was did not pay off. So Willow Keeper, though, most importantly, got to give them credit where credit's due. They deserve the victory as they played it very well in the end. And take it. So I'm Willow Keeper looking as expected, but this kind of takes me back to Rexars a little bit. I think I talked about it on Thursday, how they're one of these teams where some days I feel like they can really compete against the best and definitely top tier. Other days, maybe not so much, just not all there. So today I kind of feel like it was one of those days of maybe just not all being there for whatever reason. But Willow Keeper is a strong team at the same time. So
yeah, definitely. But I think they still show potential. I mean, I think